what's up, Teen Talk? It's your girl Penny.
And Becca.
And Stan.
And I'm Jen.
And today we have a guest. His name is
Brother Jay. Let me tell you a little something about myself.
Alright.
My name is James Shavers, aka Brother Jay, and I belong to an organization called Shavers Plus Counseling Solutions. You can visit us on the web at www.shaversplus.net. I also belong to an organization called Truth Commission, as well as Behind the Wire. And what we do, we specialize in teen mentoring sessions. We also do a bunch of gang intervention sessions. We deal with anger issues, self-esteem issues, and overall general problems that not only teenagers, but as well as adults may have as they live in this high-strung society.
Alright, well that works out because today we're talking about anger. So, with that being said, okay y'all, these two people got into a fight at work, like, while customers are still in the store.
No.
Yes.
For real?
For real.
Fist fight?
Choking fight.
Choking?
She was choking there.
Okay.
On the ground.
That's terrible.
Yes, that's some serious anger. So, what do you think could have been done? Or what, is there like a process, maybe something that can happen that calm yourself down maybe from not getting angry?
Well, I guess you could pretty much determine if the situation is getting a little bit out of hand before it gets out of hand. It's kind of like, let's say if you're confronted with someone at your individual school or at your individual job that, may come at you sideways. And sideways means coming at you wrong. One of our strategies is think about the consequences before you make the choice.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you said, on your individual job, well, we already know that there's a no tolerance rule when it comes to fighting, especially when you're dealing with employees. So if you have a fight, whether if you started the fight or whether if you think you're going to be the one who ends the fight, you always got to think about the consequence before you make the choice. So before you actually slap the person or hit the person or use inappropriate words toward the person, one of our strategies is just count to 10 in your mind. That's the 10-second rule. And while you're counting to 10 in your individual mind, you're thinking about the consequence. So you're actually putting yourself in the scenario of slapping the girl or hitting the girl or using inappropriate words with the girl. What would happen to you if you would move on that individual action? So just count to 10. Let's practice that. Okay? Now, we're not going to say it out loud. We're just going to do it in our minds. Okay, let's do it. Now, see, that didn't take long. But those 10 seconds could determine if you're going to work there tomorrow.
But whatever, some people can't wait 10 seconds.
Well,
Like, because I know there's some
They're so
people out
caught
there.
up in it.
Yeah, they just like too caught up in the mood to the where like once when they in front of the situation, they don't know how to back.
Well, what
like,
about?
They can't wait.
But if you can't make it 10 seconds, do 5 seconds. You see, but this right here is something that you have to implement on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. It's not something that's just going to happen automatic. You understand? It's kind of like riding a bike. I got a little boy that's 2 years old. He's starting off on training wheels. So as he progresses through the training wheel stage, then he can pretty much, go off on his own without the training wheels. But remember this, even when he's riding the bike without training wheels, there's going to be a moment in time and a process where he's going to have to fall. And he's going to skin his knee. Or he's going to fall and he's going to skin his elbow. It's the same thing when dealing with anger. The more you practice it, the more you put into those positions to be able to count to 10 or to count to 5 or to think about the consequences before you make the choice, the more you do it, the more automatic it's going to become. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So practice makes perfect.
Okay, so like, what if you're already in the moment? What if it's too late? No turning back. You already counted to 10, you thought about it, you okay with getting in trouble.
And you slap them.
Okay. Then what?
Well, I mean, it's the same process. You pretty much need to think about the consequences before you make the choice.
If it's worth it or not?
Yeah, is it worth it? I mean, look at the sacrifice you've made. You sat through 8 to 16 hours of, orientation on the job. You know that new iPod Touch is coming out. You've been saving for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know those new J's are coming out with your Jordan tennis shoes, by the way. You've been saving for them. What are you going to do? Are you going to put yourself and your family and your reputation, and not only that, you could catch a felony. And a felony is something that you can go to jail for.
Yeah.
Now, would you like a felony on your record?
No.
You see? So, I mean, think about the consequences before you make the choice.
Well, they did get fired.
See? That's the consequence. Was it worth it?
So what do y'all do when y'all get married?
I don't know. I try and step back, take a breather, calm down. Because sometimes when you're so caught up in it, you're just like, ugh. And sometimes when someone makes you so mad, you just want to say something to hurt them, get back at them. But like, what's a good way to you that if you're just like one of those people that's all about like, well, they said something bad to me, so I want to hurt them back too. You know what I mean? Like some people are like that. What's a good way to walk away from that?
Well, I believe a good way to walk away from that is, it's kind of like the golden rule. You treat other people like you want to be treated. And going back to like practice make perfect. Now, if you're having some type of issues at home, usually anger is an offshoot of what's taking place before the actual event occurs. It's kind of like if you wake up in the morning and you're having a bad day. You saw that new 50 Cent record or whatever on iTunes and you wanted to download it, but your computer is moving kind of slow, so you have to let it download all night. So you wake up in the morning and the computer is locked up. So automatically you have this tendency in your mind that my day is not going right. You see, so what do? You take that to school with you. What do? You take that to work with you. But you always have to remember, would you like somebody coming at you, calling you out of your name? Would you like someone coming up to you and, disrespecting you in a way that's going to make you upset? So you have to have a predisposed notion in your mind, even before your day begins. Even if you have to look in the mirror and say, self, we're going to have a good day. And you have to portray that, what you've already set out to do in the beginning of your day, throughout your day. Because remember, the choice is yours. Nobody can make you do anything.
Going deep into anger, like some people like don't know how to control their anger. Like, how do you know if you have anger management? Like, you need anger management.
Well, if you're in school, one of the keys could be if everyone around you feels as though you are annoying. Nobody likes to be around someone with a bad attitude. Do you like to be around people with bad attitudes?
No.
What about you? What about you?
No.
What about you? And usually a bad attitude is an offshoot from somebody who has inward anger problems. Fighting, you're having anger problems. Cursing people out for no reason, you're having anger problems. One of the issues that we see with kids with anger problems is that they're having problems with their teachers.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about more about this when we get back, so don't y'all go nowhere.